Welcome back to Panda Audiobooks. The pursuit has reached a fever pitch, and the Azure Heaven Domain is no longer a safe haven for our hero. In our last episode, Jian Wushuang achieved a massive breakthrough in the Forbidden Peaks, while his companion revealed a shocking truth: she is being hunted by the agents of a divine sovereign. Today, we go underground. Chapters 141 through 145 follow Wushuang and the mysterious girl as they are forced into the ruins of the Eternal Tomb to evade a divine tracker, a relentless hunter who can smell spiritual energy from miles away. Inside these ruins, Wushuang discovers that the history of the heavenly creation skill is far older and bloodier than he ever imagined. To survive the traps and the hunter, he must unlock a dormant power within his own sword. The hunt moves into the shadows of the past. Chapter 141 starts right now. Chapter 141, Xianxia. In a dim study, a grey-clothed elder was so angry that two will-o'-the-wisps seemed to be burning in his eyes. He didn't die. How could he still be alive after jumping into the abyss? The grey-clothed elder growled. The two purple-masked assassins standing in front of the grey-clothed elder were trembling with fear and dared not say anything. Not only did he not die but became much stronger. The grey-clothed elder looked at the information in his hands. The information read: Jian Wushuang went to the Clearwater stronghold in Qianyang province alone, killing all 98 copper-masked and silver-masked assassins as well as 12 golden-masked assassins. Even one purple-masked assassin was killed there. After the revenge 2 years ago, there were not many purple-masked assassins remaining in Bloodfeather Tower. And now they had lost one more. It also read: the two purple-masked assassins in Clearwater stronghold joined hands to fight with Jian Wushuang. But seconds later, one was directly killed and the other one was scared, escaping into the air and not daring to fight anymore. He fought against two enemies at a time and completely suppressed them. He has improved at such a fast pace, way too fast. If we don't stop him, Bloodfeather Tower will be destroyed by him sooner or later. He must die. Don't take any chances and don't give him any chances. We have to kill him. The grey-clothed elder growled. Suddenly, there was a light sound heard in the room. You have said that many times, haven't you? The door creaked open. A silver-robed young man, who had long hair and a wicked face, leaned against the door. He was staring at the grey-clothed elder with a strange smile. If anyone else intruded into his study like this, the grey-clothed elder would have killed them the first time, but the demonic youth was different. Not only did the demonic youth intrude into his study, he also sneered at the grey-clothed elder. However, the elder was not angry at all. Why did you come here? The grey-clothed elder asked. Though the young man hadn't reached the yin-yang void realm, his status in Bloodfeather Tower was extraordinary. Even the elder had to be humble when speaking to this person. I did not want to come here. However, Master ordered me to, so I had to come, the demonic youth said. Tower Master? The grey-clothed elder was stunned. Master said that Jian Wushuang is the target of a Scarlet Kill command, so he has to die. However, you have failed twice in a row and Bloodfeather Tower paid a great price because of that. Nothing unexpected is allowed in the third assassination. Therefore, I am here, the demonic youth smiled. The grey-clothed elder's face fell. He knew that Tower Master was questioning his ability because he failed to kill the target twice. What will you do? The grey-clothed elder asked. That's easy. I'll kill him openly, the demonic youth smiled and said. What? The grey-clothed elder didn't understand. Don't forget that a major event is about to happen. As a disciple of Dragon Palace, Jian Wushuang should certainly attend it. Killing him at that time will be undoubtedly logical. Dragon Palace won't say anything no matter how much it angers them, the demonic youth said. Haha, I almost forget about that, said the grey-clothed elder, smiling as well. He was confident in the demonic youth's strength. Jian Wushuang defeated two purple-masked assassins simultaneously. However, the demonic youth was much more terrifying. Because he was Shui Yun. Ranking first on the earthly dragon list, he was recognized as the strongest in the yin-yang void realm. 3 years ago, he fiercely fought with Bailey Chen and barbarian King Qing Kang, who ranked 2nd and 5th on the earthly dragon list respectively, outside the imperial palace. He fought with both of them at the same time, finally ending it in a draw. However, Shui Yun was only in the profound gold core realm 3 years ago. Now, he had reached the peak of the exceptional gold core realm. After raining a whole day and night, the weather finally cleared. Jian Wushuang was flying through the air on a griffin, rushing toward Dragon Palace. Soon, a solemn and magnificent city appeared in his sight. Needless to say, it was the imperial palace of Qianzhong dynasty. It was crowded and busy in the imperial palace, so nobody noticed Jian Wushuang when he flew over the imperial palace. Ah, that is? Jian Wushuang suddenly noticed a figure in the crowd at the imperial palace. He changed his look a little bit, then he made the griffin land in the imperial palace. A bunch of warriors were gathered on a wide street of the imperial palace center, excitedly watching the fierce fight in front of them. Bang! A deep and low crash noise sounded. The amazing strength gathered into the blast wave and spread out, which made many warriors narrow their eyes. Following that, a strong man flew back in defeat. Ha ha, Su Lai, is that your full strength? So weak. You want to fight with me for the Cloud Dream Ginkgo? A weak man like you must be kidding, a purple-haired man with a saber in his right hand and a milky ginkgo in his left hand. His budding laughter echoed through the entire street. The man who was just beaten back was Su Lai, a disciple of Dragon Palace. At this moment, his face was red and his breath was short. He stared at the purple-haired man coldly, and a red-robed girl stood beside him. Brother, are you okay? The red-robed girl was worried and asked him. I'm fine, Su Lai shook his head and said, but I couldn't take back the Cloud Dream Ginkgo. Doesn't matter. Forget it, the red-robed girl said. Su Lai bitterly nodded. He was not willing to forget it. Many warriors gathered here and watched this with interest. And Jian Wushuang appeared as well, wearing a bamboo hat. Su Lai. Seeing Su Lai, Jian Wushuang smiled. Then he looked at the purple-haired man who was yelling. That is, Ouyang Haoyue? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows. Ouyang Haoyue ranked 21st on the earthly dragon list, higher than Xiao Mang, whom he had fought with before. No wonder he defeated Su Lai so easily. The experts on the earthly dragon list were at the peak of the primordial gold core realm, but their strength still varied. The closer to the top, the stronger his strength, especially for those ranked in the top 20 and the top 10. Among them, each one was a monstrous expert. Ouyang Haoyue was ranked 21st, but Su Lai was ranked 94th. This was obviously a huge gap. Everyone says that there are lots of exceptional geniuses and disciples with heaven-defying talent in Dragon Palace. But it seems you are nothing more than this. Ouyang Haoyue overlooked Su Lai and sneeringly said. Are you provoking the whole Dragon Palace? Su Lai's eyes were dark. So what? Ouyang Haoyue didn't care and continued speaking. Only Bailey Chen and Qing Kang are ranked in top 10 on the earthly dragon list. Compared with the past disciples, you are much weaker. In this year's event, it would be pretty good if Dragon Palace could get 2 out of 15. But you, ranking 94th on the earthly dragon list, were not qualified to join it, am I right? Proud as you are just a joke. Ouyang Haoyue sneered. Unwilling to talk to Su Lai, he turned to leave. However, when he turned around, Jian Wushuang stepped out from the crowd and walked towards him. Chapter 142. My name is Jian Wushuang. Ouyang Haoyue had only taken a few steps when a figure suddenly appeared in front of him. You are Ouyang Haoyue, the 21st warrior at the earthly dragon list? Jian Wushuang said in a low voice. Ouyang Haoyue shot a glance at Jian Wushuang in front of him. I have wanted to join the earthly dragon list for a long time. But unfortunately, I haven't run into any of the experts on the list. How lucky I am to meet you today. Let's fight. Jian Wushuang directly said. Hearing these words, the numerous surrounding warriors burst into an uproar. He is coming for a challenge. Another one who is not afraid of death. There are so many experts on the earthly dragon list. Su Lai, who ranks 94th, is also here. Yet, instead of Su Lai, he chooses to challenge Ouyang Haoyue, the 22nd. He is either a real expert or a complete idiot. Many surrounding warriors began talking. After being challenged by Jian Wushuang in front of so many people, Ouyang Haoyue looked a little gloomy. Where are you from, idiot? Do you know nothing? Get out of my way. The cyan saber in Ouyang Haoyue's hand immediately slashed towards Jian Wushuang with towering force. A slight upturn was seen at the corners of Jian Wushuang's mouth. He immediately reached out with his right hand the moment Ouyang Haoyue swung his saber. A vast amount of earth essence was gathered into Jian Wushuang's palm, taking on a physical form as he immediately grasped the slashing cyan saber. Bang! A muffled sound was heard. The blade of that cyan saber could not even scratch the earthen glow surrounding Jian Wushuang's palm. With the saber gripped in Jian Wushuang's hand, Ouyang Haoyue could not budge it at all. What? My God! What am I seeing? Many of the surrounding warriors were stunned. How powerful was this attack from Ouyang Haoyue, who ranked 21st on the earthly dragon list? Undoubtedly, it could easily kill a warrior in the exceptional gold core realm. Yet, such a powerful saber attack was now completely held in his bare hand. It was possible if Jian Wushuang was wearing some gloves or fist covers, but there was nothing covering his hand. He simply grabbed Ouyang Haoyue's saber. What did that mean? How can this be? Ouyang Haoyue himself was astonished. Although that slash had not used his full power, it was still more than a common warrior in the exceptional gold core realm could handle. However, the man in front of him had easily grasped the blade with his bare hand. You are ranked 21st on the early dragon list, yet your strength is only this much? Still hiding his face under the bamboo hat, Jian Wushuang gave out a sneer. Go to hell. Ouyang Haoyue was enraged at Jian Wushuang's insult. A horrible current of spiritual power arose. A powerful blast of blade essence of raging fire suddenly erupted from the cyan saber, forcing back Jian Wushuang's palm. Immediately after, Ouyang Haoyue reclaimed his saber, immediately attacking again. Swoosh! The blade flash was sharp and explosive, containing a terrible fury that made the numerous warriors in the area instantly turn pale from fear. Ouyang Haoyue had put his full strength into this slash. But the result was... bang! A palm appeared in front of the saber a second time, grasping it once more. The blade essence was instantly broken and the cyan saber was trapped in Jian Wushuang's hand again. Impossible! Ouyang Haoyue was really seized with terror and fury. The first slash was wielded randomly, so it meant nothing although Jian Wushuang could grasp it with his bare hand. But this time, he had used his full strength. Yet, the result was the same. He grasped it with his bare hand, stopping the saber with his bare hand, twice in a row. What kind of strength is this? What he did not know was that Jian Wushuang had improved his sword essence comprehension immensely over the 2 years in the sword tomb. Especially the sword essence of earth. Although it had not been combined with the fiery wind sword essence, it had become the most powerful among the 4 sword essences he had comprehended. Jian Wushuang was even confident that, with only the sword essence of earth, he could easily pass the 11th floor of the Dragon Gate. Such profound comprehension in earth essence, which was good at defense, was intensely gathered in his palm. It is no surprise that Ouyang Haoyue's attack could not break it. He, the 21st warrior on the earthly dragon list was just SOSO. Jian Wushuang smiled slightly, then moved his palm a little. A vast current of the earth essence erupted and a terrifying force rushed out. At the same time, Ouyang Haoyue's cyan saber was completely bent in Jian Wushuang's hand, and then became an out-and-out twist. Casually throwing aside that cyan saber he had turned into scrap metal, Jian Wushuang grinned and then punched Ouyang Haoyue's chest. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out as Ouyang Haoyue brutally flew backwards like a kite with a broken string, immediately cracking the ground with his heavy landing. The whole street became very silent. Everybody who witnessed the scene was in shock. Jian Wushuang slowly walked towards Ouyang Haoyue and said in a low voice, Ouyang Haoyue, with such strength, are you qualified to be the 21st on the earthly dragon list? How ridiculous! You are far weaker than Xiao Mang. What Jian Wushuang said was the truth, because he had fought against Xiao Mang. In terms of real strength, Xiao Mang was definitely much stronger than Ouyang Haoyue. But, because the former had kept a low profile and rarely fought against others, his rank remained 22nd for a long time. You! Who on earth are you? Ouyang Haoyue tightly stared at Jian Wushuang. You mentioned Xiao Mang? He is a low-key person who hardly ever fights with others. His most recent fight was 2 years ago and it caused a big commotion. He fought against Swordsman, who died. Before he finished the story, Xianxia suddenly widened his eyes and then shouted with fear, "You are Swordsman." What? The entire street was shocked. Swordsman? The guy who turned the whole Qianzhong dynasty upside down 2 years ago? Swordsman, an exceptional genius that rarely appeared every few decades, who was listed in the Millennium Chronicle compiled by the Gladiator Arena. Everyone was familiar with the name Swordsman. But now, Xianxia said that this mysterious man wearing a bamboo hat in front of everyone was the same Swordsman? Swordsman? Su Lai abruptly raised his head, gazing at Jian Wushuang. Everyone on the street looked over at Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang, who hid his face under the bamboo hat, slightly curled the corners of his mouth at this moment, and then directly threw away the bamboo hat. As he raised his head, a cold but handsome face appeared. Meanwhile, his voice, with a little arrogance, was heard echoing on the entire street. "I'm not Swordsman. My name is Jian Wushuang. With a sword in hand, no one is my match. Remember that." Chapter 143, Returning. Jian Wushuang? He said his name is Jian Wushuang. I haven't heard that name before. With a sword in hand, no one is his match. So arrogant. He is supposed to be a swordsman, but he defeated Xianxia without a sword. The numerous surrounding warriors were discussing. They had never heard the name Jian Wushuang name before. But, from this day forward, they would remember it. Not just them, the countless warriors in the entire Qianzhong dynasty would know his name very soon. After all, he had defeated Xianxia, who ranked 21st at the earthly dragon list. And it was a thorough defeat. Of course, he would become famous after today. What, Jian Wushuang? You are absolutely swordsman. Xianxia glared at Jian Wushuang. Swordsman. Su Lai, who was standing aside, looked over at Jian Wushuang with wide eyes as he shouted. His swordsman was enough to prove Jian Wushuang's identity. Swordsman? He is that swordsman who defeated Xiao Mang, killed the Purple Masked Assassin from Blood Feather Tower, and then jumped into the abyss 2 years ago? He jumped into the abyss and died, didn't he? How can he still be alive? Everyone at the scene was shocked. However, Jian Wushuang just slightly smiled. He did not defeat Xianxia to become famous around the world. He just wanted to recover his name and identity. Swordsman was just an alias he had used to avoid Bloodfeather Tower's pursuit. Jian Wushuang was his genuine name. At this moment, he wanted everyone to know that Swordsman had died 2 years ago and Jian Wushuang had been reborn like a phoenix. Swordsman, is it really you? Su Lai ran over. Su Lai, I haven't seen you for 2 years. How are you? Jian Wushuang replied and smiled. You did not die? Su Lai asked in surprise. Jian Wushuang shrugged, reached out towards Xianxia, and then said, "Hand over the Cloud Dream Ginkgo." Xianxia's face turned gloomy, with dense unwillingness in his eyes. But, he knew the strength gap between himself and Jian Wushuang. He did not dare to refuse. Immediately handing the Cloud Dream Ginkgo to Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang gave the Cloud Dream Ginkgo to Su Lai. I appreciate it a lot, Su Lai said gratefully. Jian Wushuang just smiled slightly. Jian Wushuang, don't be so happy. This is not over yet, Xianxia said bitterly. Oh. Jian Wushuang looked at Xianxia. If my guess is correct, won't you be participating in the event? Xianxia said coldly. Event? What event? Jian Wushuang asked while looking puzzled. Stop pretending. Xianxia sneered. You are a disciple of Dragon Palace. Of course you will take part in this event on behalf of Dragon Palace. So we'll meet again. When that happens, I will make sure to return today's humiliation to you twofold. You'll return it to me twofold? By yourself? Jian Wushuang slightly curled the corners of his mouth. Of course not from me. It will be from my big brother, Xianxia said. Your big brother, Xianxia? Jian Wushuang's smile grew even bigger. There was an introduction to Xianxia's background in the earthly dragon list. Jian Wushuang knew that he came from the Ouyang clan, one of the 7 oldest clans in Qianzhong dynasty. Ouyang Haoyue also had a big brother named Ouyang Haoqian, who ranked 6 2 years ago but was now ranked 3rd on the earthly dragon list. It was said that Ouyang Haoyue had recently defeated the former 3rd rank, Mu Yingying from the Mu clan. Ranking 3rd on the earthly dragon list definitely demonstrate Ouyang Haoqian's strength. Then, I'll be waiting, Jian Wushuang said, then slightly smiled. Just wait and see. Ouyang Haoyue coldly snorted, and then left with hatred. This Ouyang Haoyue is quite narrow-minded, Jian Wushuang said and smiled. Humph. He is a petty man, but his big brother is really strong, Su Lai said seriously. Maybe. Jian Wushuang casually nodded. He did not care too much. 3rd rank on the earthly dragon list was really strong. But Jian Wushuang was no longer the boy from 2 years ago. Swordsman, I never thought you were still alive. Ha ha. This is a major event for the whole Dragon Palace. Come on. Let's go to Dragon Palace. Su Lai smiled and said, Little sister, you can head back first. Okay. The red-robed girl standing beside Su Lai nodded. Then, following Su Lai, Jian Wushuang walked toward Dragon Palace. At Dragon Palace. The moment Jian Wushuang returned, everyone in Dragon Palace was shocked. What? Who? Who has returned? Palace Master White was stunned by the news. It's Swordsman. He has returned, replied the purple-robed servant who delivered the news. Swordsman? The expression on Palace Master White's face became complicated. Jian Wushuang was the talent whom she thought most highly of. 2 years ago, when it was said that Jian Wushuang had been forced to jump into the abyss, she was the saddest one. But now, Jian Wushuang had returned? Go! Go! Bring him here quickly. Oh, no. I'll go get him myself. Ha ha. The exceptional genius of our Dragon Palace has returned. Inside Dragon Palace. Jian Wushuang and Su Lai slowly walked forward, side by side, surrounded by the disciples of Dragon Palace. When these disciples saw Jian Wushuang, their expression became very weird. It really is Swordsman. It's him. He didn't die. He jumped into the abyss, didn't he? How can he still be alive? These disciples all felt it inconceivable. After all, many warriors had witnessed Jian Wushuang jumping into the abyss. It was a fact. Jumping into the abyss definitely meant death. Even the Millennium Chronicle, compiled by the Gladiator, said that an exceptional genius had passed away. Alas! How sad. But now, Jian Wushuang had not died and he just appeared in front of everyone, alive? Third brother. Third brother. A shout of awe and exultation was suddenly heard in front. Jian Wushuang raised his head and looked over. He immediately noticed Wang Yuan rushing towards him with Yang Zixuan and Su Ru beside him. Ha ha! Elder brother Wang Yuan. Jian Wushuang walked towards him with a laugh. Third brother. I missed you so much. Wang Yuan directly gave Jian Wushuang a big hug. Second brother. It's been a long time since we saw each other. Jian Wushuang looked towards Yang Zixuan, reaching out his fist. Welcome back. A smile appeared on Yang Zixuan's cold face as he reached out to bump fists with Jian Wushuang. Ha ha, fourth sister. Jian Wushuang then turned towards the shy Su Ru and directly gave her a hug. Su Ru did not resist, but her face turned bright red. 2 years later, the four of them had finally met again. Swordsman. A clear and cold voice was heard. After which, Palace Master White walked towards him, followed by a crowd of temple masters. It really is Swordsman. Little guy, how are you so lucky? We all thought he had died, so we took revenge on the Blood Feather Tower. No one ever expected the boy was still alive. Seeing Jian Wushuang, the temple masters talked casually, smiling. Swordsman, follow me. Palace Master White spoke directly. Jian Wushuang raised his brow and shot a glance at Wang Yuan and the other two. I'll go with Palace Master White first, then join you later. Okay, I'll prepare some good wine for you. Let us 4 siblings drink heartily and have a good time later, Wang Yuan said and then laughed. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded, then followed Palace Master White and left. Chapter 144, Nanyang Continent. Within the palace. The temple masters had left, but palace masters Black and White were sitting in front of Jian Wushuang. Boy! What happened? How did you survive the abyss? Asked Palace Master White. It was no wonder why she was so curious. The abyss was still a mystery. No one knew what was there. However, anyone who fell into the abyss, even experts in the yin-yang void realm, would die. However, Jian Wushuang returned alive from the abyss. I don't know. When I fainted after I jumped into the abyss. When I woke up, I found myself inside the sword tomb, Jian Wushuang said. A sword tomb? Palace masters Black and White looked at each other. The sword tomb was rife with sword scars. Jian Wushuang told them most of what happened in the sword tomb, only leaving out the absolute beauty, and the robust man in the ancestors' land. He told them he had accidentally entered the sword tomb. After hearing what Jian Wushuang said, both palace masters looked astonished. You spent a full 2 years in that sword tomb. Besides the sword tomb, didn't you explore anywhere else? Palace Master White could not help asking. No, I could feel danger all around, so I did not dare to explore. Somehow, I was able to leave by entering the space rift. Then, I appeared in the dark forest, Jian Wushuang said. Space rift? Wormhole? The two palace masters stared at him with wide eyes. The wormhole was a legendary skill. Of course, it might also be a natural wormhole. It seems that there is a big secret hidden in the abyss, said Palace Master White, sighing in praise. So many experts of the yin-yang void realm went to explore but never returned. Yet somehow, this little guy survived. He's quite lucky. Palace Master Black also smiled. They were not very skeptical about what Jian Wushuang said. The abyss was a dangerous place. It was normal for Jian Wushuang to find out nothing given his current strength. Anyway, being able to return alive is already very fortunate, and you returned at a great time, Palace Master White said and laughed. A major event is about to begin. I was currently troubled by this. Now that you are back, that problem is solved. A major event? Jian Wushuang asked. Before, in the Imperial Palace, Ouyang Haoyue had also mentioned it. But he had no idea what this major event was. Palace Master White. What is this major event? Jian Wushuang asked without hesitation. Have you heard about the Easternmost Hunt? Palace Master White beamed. The Easternmost Hunt? Jian Wushuang immediately shook his head. He had never heard anything about it. Well, it is a long story, so I'll explain it. Palace Master White smiled and slowly narrated. Jian Wushuang, is the Qianzong dynasty vast? Palace Master White asked. Very vast. Jian Wushuang immediately nodded. In his eyes, the Qianzong dynasty was incredibly vast. You are right, the Qianzong dynasty is very vast. Palace Master White also nodded and continued. It has a total of 16 provinces. There are many counties in these 16 provinces, so it can be said to be very vast. However, how big is the land we are on? The land? Jian Wushuang was stunned for a second and then shook his head. I tell you that this piece of land is called Nanyang Continent and it has endless territory. There are many dynasties on the Nanyang Continent. Qianzong dynasty is just one of the many dynasties on the Nanyang Continent. And just a small empire, Palace Master White said. A small empire? Jian Wushuang was slightly stunned. On the entire Nanyang Continent, the dynasties have been divided into 3 levels according to their territorial strengths. Small empires, middle-sized empires, and large empires. Palace Master White explained. Different level dynasties will have different overall strengths. Our Qianzong dynasty is only a small empire. Among the many dynasties on the Nanyang Continent, it can be said that it is an unremarkable dynasty that nobody cares about. Not far away, the territory, where the Qianzong dynasty is located, is in the northwest corner of the Nanyang Continent. There are a total of 11 dynasties around us. Of these 11 dynasties, there are 2 large empires, 6 middle-sized empires, and 3 other small empires. The Easternmost Hunt is held every 20 years. At the beginning of the Easternmost Hunt, the 12 dynasties in the northwest, including Qianzong dynasty, will send experts to participate. The rules stipulate that those experts can only be warriors in the Gold Core realm. Warriors in the Yin-Yang Void realm cannot join. Each easternmost hunt will generally attract some old sects. Old sects? Jian Wushuang asked while lifting his brow. In the Nanyang continent, there are a large number of dynasties. The real overlords and rulers of this continent are from those old sects. The dynasties are merely the vassals of these sects. Palace Master White smiled and continued. Some old sects will be taking part in the easternmost hunt, and they will also select some of the best among those who participate in the hunt. They will become core disciples instead of normal disciples. Becoming a core disciple is considered a big success. Even his dynasty will flatter them. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang was completely stunned. The core disciples of those old sects have such a status? Even a dynasty has to fawn over them? Boy, there's something you need to understand, Palace Master White said seriously. There is no doubt that Dragon Palace is the holy land for cultivators in the Qianzong dynasty. But it is only true in the Qianzong dynasty. Outside the Qianzong dynasty and in the entire Nanyang continent, Dragon Palace is nothing. And those old sects are not. Jian Wushuang was surprised, but it was understandable. Although the cultivation resources in Dragon Palace were very rich, as his strength increased, Jian Wushuang gradually realized that the resources in Dragon Palace had little use for him. However, ruling the entire Nanyang continent, the old sects would have more amazing resources. So, you can imagine how fortunate it is to enter the old sects and become a core disciple. Naturally, there are countless people who are eager to enter these old sects. For the 12 dynasties in the northwest, the only chance to enter them is the easternmost hunt. Chapter 145. The Selection Battle. Participate in the easternmost hunt is the only way to join the old sects. When does this the easternmost hunt, begin? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes, the easternmost hunting, which is held every 10 years, will start in 3 months. But for the small empires, such as the Qianzong dynasty, only 15 Gold Core realm experts can participate, Palace Master White said. Only 15? Jian Wushuang frowned. A dynasty, even if it was a small one, possessed countless geniuses. In the Qianzong dynasty, there are 100 experts on the earthly dragon list. They are all geniuses. The number would be even larger if the hidden experts of the Gold Core realm are included. However, only 15 of them were able to participate in the easternmost hunt. Therefore, each spot was extremely precious. Because there are too few spots, before the easternmost hunt, our Qianzong dynasty will select the 15 strongest experts to participate in it. And this selection is called the quota battle. Palace Master Black said. Though it is just a selection battle inside the Qianzong dynasty, it will still be very cruel. As the holy place for cultivators in Qianzong dynasty, we can elect 10 people to participate in this quota battle. But in the end, how many of them can obtain a spot is unknown. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. Only 15 spots, even if it was in Dragon Palace, which was known for being full of exceptional geniuses, the available number of spots was also limited. Among the disciples of Dragon Palace, Bailey Chen and Qing Kang are ranked 2nd and 6th on the earthly dragon list. Both of them have a good chance. However, they can only take 2 spots. In the previous selection battle, Dragon Palace took at least 4 or 5 out of the 15 spots. But this time the disciples of Dragon Palace, compared to the previously, are weaker overall, so our expectations are lower. But we want to get at least 3 spots. In addition to Bailey Chen and Qing Kang, we need one more person to secure a spot, Palace Master White said seriously. You want me to participate in the selection battle and get a spot for Dragon Palace? Jian Wushuang looked questioningly at both Palace Master Black and Palace Master White. Yes. Palace Master White nodded. 2 years ago, you defeated Xiao Mang, who ranked 22nd on the earthly dragon list. Besides, your talent is well known, and in these 2 years, your strength must have greatly improved. It's very likely that you can obtain a spot. But it is not just for Dragon Palace. You are also participating in the selection battle for yourself. I know your true identity. Jian Wushuang, the target of a Scarlet Kill command from Blood Feather Tower, which means that they will kill you at all costs. So 2 years ago, despite the revenge from Dragon Palace, the Blood Feather Tower was still determined to kill you. There is no buffer between you and Blood Feather Tower. It won't stop until one of you dies. To be honest, your current strength is still too weak to take on Blood Feather Tower. I understand. Jian Wushuang nodded his head. So, what you need the most now is time, Palace Master White said and smiled. You are talented, so if you are given enough time to grow, there is a huge possibility that you will obliterate Blood Feather Tower in the future. But, Blood Feather Tower won't give you time. They will take every chance to assassinate you. Though I will give you shelter, unless you are hiding in Dragon Palace, it will be difficult to really ensure your safety. If you can, stand out in the easternmost hunt and draw the attention of those old sects. Once you become a core disciple of those old sects, they won't dare touch you. Palace Master Black also nodded and said, the old sects are powerful and capable of destroying Blood Feather Tower with ease. Therefore, if you become a core disciple of an old sect, Blood Feather Tower won't dare to kill you, at least on the surface. And you can take advantage of the shelter from the old sect to improve your strength. Finally, when your strength has increased to a certain level, you can fight back against Blood Feather Tower. I see. Jian Wushuang laughed. He also agreed with the two palace masters. Indeed, if he could get a spot, and participate in the easternmost hunt, then joined one old sect, he could appear openly in front of Blood Feather Tower. The cultivation resources in the old sects were also better than those in Dragon Palace. Trust me. I will attend the selection battle. Though I am not absolutely sure I can get a spot, I will do my best, Jian Wushuang said. Ha ha, I knew you would agree. Only a fool wouldn't agree, Palace Master White said and laughed. Okay, here's a gift. Palace Master White turned her hand over and gave Jian Wushuang a thick book. This is. Jian Wushuang looked at this book strangely. After opening it, his look immediately changed. Formless sword art, the last 3 moves? Yes, that is the last 3 moves of the formless sword art, Palace Master White laughed and said, actually, 2 years ago, when you passed the 11th level of the Dragon Gate, both of us and those temple masters discussed and agreed to give it to you. But we failed to do that because of what happened. Now that you have returned, it's yours. But the last 3 moves of the formless sword art are not available in the secret pavilion? Jian Wushuang felt it was strange. Ha ha, you are really stupid. Do you think that the secret pavilion is simple? Palace Master White said and grinned. Jian Wushuang was confused. There are actually 2 secret pavilions in Dragon Palace, a big one, and a small one. You often go to the big one. Though there are many treasures, it's only suitable for the warriors in the Gold Core Realm and the Spiritual Sea Realm. However, the small one is only available to Palace Masters and Temple Masters of Dragon Palace. Though there are few treasures, they are more precious. Like the last 3 moves of the formless sword art, which were not in the big secret pavilion, only in the small secret pavilion. So, are you surprised? Palace Master White asked while beaming. Yeah. Jian Wushuang laughed. The formless sword art was known as the top sword skill in Qianzhong Dynasty. It was incredibly powerful. After the experience in the Ancestors' Land, Jian Wushuang's field of vision had increased. Not to mention, he also had the selfless sword technique, which was better than the formless sword art. However, Jian Wushuang still looked forward to studying the last 3 moves of the formless sword art. And with that heart-stopping confrontation with the divine tracker, we conclude chapter 145. Wushuang has managed to survive the initial clash, but the ruins have revealed a terrifying prophecy. His father wasn't just captured, he was used as a key for something far more sinister. The divine sovereign's reach is longer than Wushuang realized, and the enemies he faces now are beyond anything the sect could have imagined. With the tracker still lurking in the dark and the ruins collapsing around them, how will they escape? Join us next time for chapters 146 through 150, as Wushuang finds the altar of the primordial sword, and faces a choice that could cost him his humanity in exchange for godlike power. Thank you for listening to Panda Audiobooks. If you're ready for the final secrets of the Eternal Tomb, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next update.